is on my checklist as the legislation comes through to see how they propose to deal with that sort of thing.
And then besides the right to work, aren't we talking about a tax basis, the tax structure in Ohio that really needs to be looked at?
Tax which taxes? All of the taxes?
Yeah, on the tax structure.
Sure.
Not only just your regular, but not only some of the obvious taxes you're paying, but we're also talking about fees, constantly fees that you're paying that go down to Columbus.
I know that's a large part of an initiative called the Common Sense Initiative that's going on down in Columbus. It's being headed up by the Lieutenant Governor to review fees, expenses, state sort of what I call the seeping bleeding of having government in your pockets all the time, beyond up and above beyond taxes. And it's part of a review that she's charged statutorily with undertaking. I don't know when her report's going to be done on that, but yeah, it's an issue that needs to be looked at. Yes, sir.
To go back to your last question, 3 of my 5 children are out of state because of the lack of jobs in Ohio. And you could be there anywhere from a pharmacist up to a person who runs an employment company.
No level of skill set, no level of employment, no level of socioeconomic status is immune from it. And it's a terrible thing. And that's why the governor is so focused on job creation, opportunity creation. I'm sure if you listen to the governor's comments about central collection of taxes, that's in large measure what's knocking around in his mind. If we can make Ohio a more friendly place to attract businesses so they're not having to pay taxes in 15 different communities, but rather can just pay it centrally, it makes it perhaps a more attractive place for business to come.
That was justification.
Sure, it may be absolute hooey for all I know, but like I say, I like
it
that.
may make sense for it.
But it may make sense. So I think that's a large part of what's motivating this administration. It's certainly foremost in the minds of the Senate as we go forward. I can assure you of that. And if for a minute it doesn't become that, if it's not in the forefront for a minute, I'll make sure that it is. Because like I said, I know it's family draining. It's not pleasant. Okay? You've been very patient with your time, and I apologize for taking up so much of it, but I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Again, we appreciate you coming down.
Thank you, ma'am.
Enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Good to see you, Dave. Thank you. Thank you for your questions. Thank you. I'm going to shake hands. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll get back on the agenda. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to add under new business, village credit card, 12-04 resolution.
Nothing gets past me. Good for you. Here, nice to meet you. Every minute.
Okay, approval of minutes from January 19th, 2012. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Any discussion? Take the roll, please.
Blue?
Yes.
Hofstadter?
Yes.
Warnow?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Dyer?
Yes.
Reese?
Yes.
Approval of minutes for January 26th, 2012. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Take the roll, please.
Hofstadter?
Yes.
Warnow?
Yes.
Klein? Dyer?
Yes.
Reese?
Yes.
Blue?
Yes.
Payment of bills, the amount of $129,836.16. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Take the roll, please.
Warnow?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Dyer?
Yes.
Reese?
Yes.
Blue?
Yes.
Hofstadter?
Yes.
Streets report. Mr.
We got the no tree truck that was installed on Newcomb Road that actually comes off of Georgia. We put on the north side of Georgia on Newcomb, where Newcomb ends up going into Lake Street about a quarter mile up. So that may be the truck that we get complaints coming down Lake Street, so that sign got installed. Meter readings still taking place, meter replacement, sewer maintaining, sewer pump repair that I told you last month is still at the factory, but it's being, probably close to being set back to it. Street sweeping and, street patching, trash removal. We had, believe it or not, we did have some snow plowing in the street and sidewalk cleaning. Wastewater treatment and water treatment plant routine maintenance. And with this new meters, we actually had an issue that come up, which I'll bring to utilities, I don't have it now, but this new meter, we had a resident come in, said, hey, I had a leak maybe for a couple of days. Well, with this new meter system that we're installing, we can actually take it in there, you take a magnet and you run over the top of the head. And what that magnet does, basically, it wakes up the meter and it tells us when that leak developed. Now the guy said, oh, I think the leak was only for 2 days. It showed the time the leak started and 17 days later before he recovered that he had a leak. And that's what this meter, the new meters we're putting in everybody's house. When they say they don't have a leak, we can wake it up. We can pinpoint it right to the hour. We can pinpoint how long it leaks, however we want to graph it out to show people this is when you had the leak, and by God, this is when you fixed it. So.
Aren't those meters also supposed to help alert us to the?
Well, we don't have a system down here yet. It's another whole program that we have to get to here.
That's something we hope to have though, right? So that's something we hope to have though, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if someone has that leak, we can make them aware of it, right? So they're not wasting their water. Right. That'll be what's really good.
Or if they're out of town for the winter.
Yeah, whatever.
Charlie, thanks for the assignment, Georgia.
Okay.
Thanks for doing a super job on the snow we had over the last weekend.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Township didn't have any issue with you putting the sign up there?
No, I think Dan contacted, trustee, and trustee said, you want to sign up, and you guys want to put it up.
You done?
Yeah.
Sorry. I wasn't, obviously. Charlie, do you have a schedule for the street sweeping?
Yeah, we try to do it by
Friday afternoon, the busiest time of the day, or what?
No, it just depends on weather-wise. Sometimes it could be on Monday.
I realize this time of year it can't,
Right.
I have the opportunity to take it, but I hope we would schedule that.
Usually, believe it or not, I try to do it on Monday after the, all out of 4:20 traffic and down and stuff. So that's usually how we contact it.
Any questions, other questions for Charlie? I think, we talked last meeting about getting these meters done. We're gonna be 5 years now, still talking about, we've got meters to do. And I'm hoping the streets committee come up with some kind, but I think that's a good selling point. I wish we had the software to monitor the leaks, so it would be, but just the fact that we can pinpoint it, I think we should publicize that and hope, encourage people to get this done. Okay. Joe, police report?
For the month of January, the police department handled 567 calls, fire 43, EMS 100. Jefferson, Romney Shores, Andover, and Orwell they were right about 75 calls. Citations, speed citations were 7. DUS, driving under suspension, was 11. Expired plates 5. Physical controls 1. 4 OBIs. 2 accidents, 1 leaving the scene, 1 fictitious plate, totaling 31. And our criminal charges were 2 open containers, 5 underage consumptions, 2 unruly juveniles, 1 possession of drugs, 1 domestic violence, 1 inducing panic, 1 telephone harassment, 1 theft, and 1 menacing. Busy month.
Joe, I noticed on your report, you break it down, phone calls or complaints. Why would we be getting complaints out of Jefferson, Romney Shores, Andover, and Orwell? What type?
We handle
complaining about?
Well, we handle all their calls. So if they have a call within their jurisdiction, it comes to our dispatch center. But sometimes they have a call saying, hey, do you have the number for, Joe Schmo over at the public office? But we list all the calls that we handle for all of those municipalities.
Yeah, but you have 2 columns there, 1 phone call, 1 complaint.
Correct.
What are complaints? What type of complaint could we handle from Orwell
No, the way it's listed is the same way we list it for us. See, we have 567 calls for service, so basically that's 55 calls of service for Jefferson. Okay, so any time that our dispatch center dispatches a police officer to a call is what those numbers are for. And then we list that as a complaint. It's just a call for service, the police department.
Okay, but you have another column there, 381 calls for Middlefield Police Department.
That's phone calls.
Okay, and 567 is what?
Those are how many times an officer responded to a call. Not just a call on the phone. We have calls that counts as a traffic stop, that counts as any time our officer is engaged in anything for another department, our department, any self-initiated field activity. That's where all those numbers come from.
So the other calls are like informational type calls?
Correct.
Just a phone
Well,
call?
yeah, I mean, the phone calls are all listed, even on our phone calls. Any phone call that comes into our dispatch center is reported. And, you know, we report them for all the agencies, including our own.
So the one with just the phone calls, nobody was dispatched as far as the police department?
Well, it counts both. I mean, it could be somebody calling in a drunk driver heading down,
Right,
87 into the village, and then that turns into a call.
okay.
Did that answer your question, Rick?
No.
I'll talk to you about it later. Okay.
Joe did put a nice annual report together, which each of you have a copy of from 2011. Any comments on that, Joe, you'd like to make, or?
Not really. I mean, it goes through all the numbers for the differences in between 2010 and 2011. Most of the numbers were pretty much the same. Our criminal charges have gone up almost by 50 from last year to this year. Security checks were down a little bit, but that just goes with, the amount of calls that the officers are handling. Incident reports were almost exact, but there's all the information's there, all of our employee information is there, how many years of service each officer has, all the information for Andover, Jefferson, Roman Shores, and Orwell, their totals are there, and it just goes through our arrest warrants, how our dispatch center gets the arrest warrants, how many we deal with, how many are issued, how many we still have on file, all our calls for service, all our fire rescue calls for service, and how many, the differences between the 2 years, and that's about it.
There's just one point here I'd like to make council aware of, and it's in the report, if you read it, that the Unit 5 police car, the SUV, that we were told was going to get 18 to 20 miles per gallon. It's 8. Getting 8.
I don't think we said 18 or 20.
I think you did.
That was part of the sticker, but they have to go more than a mile radius to
Yeah.
get it.
Well, they're telling us it's still going to get 2 to 3 miles a gallon better than that after it breaks in. So it's still only got 3,000 miles.
I hope so.
But we're hoping for that.
I'm hoping too.
Word to wise, you only drive